All right, so let's start out with just some general stuff. Cam, tell us the name of your business and what you do for a living.
Name of my business is Black Sheep. I help people show up intentionally on LinkedIn through photos, content, and strategy.
How long have you been doing that?
I've been at this for about 7 months now, although I do have a background in marketing for the last six or so years.
Your customer base primarily are focused on LinkedIn. What can you do on LinkedIn? What are the services you provide on LinkedIn that would help someone? I assume that your customers are business owners. Is that
Sure. Yep. Anyone who's selling a product or a service, I can help. So the way I do that is using photos, content, and strategy. I help people bring in leads through LinkedIn, attracting warm leads instead of doing all cold outreach.
okay? So if someone's listening right now and they're kind of feeling stuck in their business, knowing they have a story, they want to share their story, but they're unsure how to. Um, what is that the type of customer you're looking for, and what can you do for them?
Yeah, absolutely. What I want to do is help people tell their story through content and to attract business. Um, I think that everybody has a story to tell. It's just a matter of kind of pulling it out of people sometimes. But the type of marketing and content that is getting a lot of traction lately is the storytelling content, which for LinkedIn is bringing LinkedIn to a whole new kind of area of sharing a little bit more of a personal life on LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn in the past has been a platform where people are very rigid, very professional, kind of keeping things tight and all together. I'm trying to kind of bring LinkedIn into a new era of personal, more human-like content that also helps you grow your business.
So you try to do that through storytelling, I presume,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So what do you think? Why do you think storytelling matters so much for personal branding? And what do most people get wrong about it? What do people do? Or where are they off?
I think that when you're building a personal brand, it is you. You are the brand. The reason I think a personal brand is so important is because for entrepreneurs, especially, or business owners, executives, business development, your personal brand is something that's going to follow you for the rest of your career. If you leave a job, leave a company, you still build that personal brand. People are going to buy from you, not who you're selling with. Um, the reason that I think storytelling is so important for personal brand, again, is because the brand is you. Telling your story, giving a little background. You're trying to build trust. You're trying to build relationships. People trust you and like you when they feel like you're authentic and they feel like you're genuine. I don't know about you, but when I am in conversations with people in networking groups or on LinkedIn, and it's all professional related or just very surface level, rigid, about what they do. I want to know more. I want to know who you are as a person. I want to know the struggles you've been through to get where you are today. And I also think that helps you build, like I said, that trust and authenticity in relationships.
So that's a great segue for the next question. So the next question is, so you mentioned you've been doing this about 7 months. Can you take us back to kind of a pivotal moment where everything changed and how the moment sparked the idea for Black Sheep?
Absolutely. I was a marketing consultant for about 5 years before doing this. 2024 was a little bit of a hiatus year for me. I scrambled into the credit card processing industry. And if you know anything about me, that's not something that necessarily matches who I am and what I want to do.
Base points and however they track that.
Exactly. So I was in a rough spot in 2023. I had built my marketing business to a good place, but had not really set boundaries with clients. Was working all hours of the day, and my girlfriend, now wife at the time, now wife, sat me down and said that I needed something to change because it just wasn't healthy for me, for our relationship, everything like that. So I got into credit card processing in 2024 to try and switch routes, find something new. And, 8 months into it, still really not getting much traction. Had to kind of decide at the end of last year to figure something else out. So I got back into marketing and kind of felt like I was going back to my roots a little bit. The business started as photography because I've been a hobby photographer for about 15 years. And it has been since evolving since January into more of the personal branding, right? So doing the photos, but also doing the content along with the photos, and then also implementing my strategy. When I was doing credit card processing and when I was building my marketing business beforehand, I was getting all of my leads through social media. And a lot of the times I was getting asked from colleagues, how are you doing this? How are you bringing in leads from LinkedIn? Can you help me with this? Can you help me put together content? And so it's kind of all just evolved since then into, okay, well, why don't I just do done for you LinkedIn services? So that's where I'm at now.
What would you say is the biggest differentiator between what you do and maybe what your company, because you're not the only person that does this type of service, right? So is there something that you would say that sets you apart?
I would say my personality, who I am as a person. A lot of feedback that I get is that I'm someone who is easy to talk to. And when you are getting involved in, the services that I'm offering and telling your story, sometimes there's deep questions and sometimes there's a lot of emotion behind what you're sharing. And so being able to do that with someone like myself who is easygoing, easy to talk to, and trustworthy, I think is an important part of it.
So Black Sheep's all about helping people show up as their real, imperfect selves. Mm-hmm. What does that look like in your own, your own stuff, your own content?
If you're following me on LinkedIn, you know that I'm very heavy on content, and I'm very also real and honest with my content. I'm building myself right now, and I'm kind of doing it publicly in a way where Black Sheep is definitely not where I want it to be, but I'm building and I'm getting traction, and I'm kind of doing it alongside people on LinkedIn that are with me. And I think that's how I show up imperfectly. I just keep showing up because what I preach is keep showing up, do it consistently, and it'll come. So that's what I'm trying to do myself, and try to just set that example right now.
So Black Sheep, you said it's not exactly where you want it to be. What does Black Sheep look like in 5 years from now?
I think I have a vision for Black Sheep, where I'd like to take it in the next 5 years is to a place, where I am helping people grow on LinkedIn. There's certain levels of Black Sheep that I kind of have in mind over the next however many years. But there is, level one is monetize your account, right? So when you're on LinkedIn, you gain followers, you gain traction, you post consistently. I'm helping my clients bring in consistent business through LinkedIn. And from there, then they're able to open up more opportunity to, having brand partnerships where they may be in a specific industry and work with a brand that pays them to talk about their content. So it's really kind of a content running machine business. And then from there, I think there's a third level, highest level is having Black Sheep as kind of the management company of these people that we monetize and build up. So there's a big vision there, but I do see it. It's just got to work for it.
Well, essentially, your business plan could be, hey, I can help these people succeed, and the more success they get, the more services I can provide.
Yeah, exactly.
What's something that keeps you up at night? related to work, not caffeine, right?
I think what keeps me up at night is just the passion that I have. Like I'll find myself laying in bed. My wife's been asleep for 2 hours, and I'm just still working, still, thinking about content, thinking about what I can do better, what I can change. I think it's both like healthy, but also unhealthy in a way. But it's kind of in this phase that I'm in right now of just building and growth.
So you're consumed by your business, as a lot of entrepreneurs are. You can't turn it off. What about when you're able to turn it off? What are some things, I'm kind of doing this in reverse order, like this is a rapport building question, but what are some of the things that you do for fun What do you do with your, family things? What do you guys like to do?
My wife and I have 2 black labs, Bailey and Beckham. They are very spoiled, very much. We are what you call a dink family, dual income, no kids. So they are living the life. So we spend a lot of time with them. We love to go to the lake, go on the boat, jet skis, especially in the summer. Going up north is always fun. Photography is obviously, like I said, been a hobby of mine for 15 plus years. And while I'm doing it professionally now, I still try to make sure I do it as a hobby too, so that I keep enjoying it. So I will try to have some time, every week to go out and just take some shots and enjoy that.
So I know you do headshots, right? What about with your photography? Some people. I had a neighbor that was birds, right? That's do you have? Is it nature? Like, what do you have? Sports? Like, what do you?
I
enjoy shooting.
I enjoy landscape, so like the lake or cool things out, in the horizon kind of thing. I also enjoy nature. That's fun, getting, animals, stuff like that. I think from a business perspective, I enjoy doing the lifestyle shoots where I get to, it's kind of like headshots 2.0, right? Where I'm getting headshots for you, but showing more of your personality, showing more of who you are as a person, and, helping that to build your personal brand.
All right. So the last question I have for you is, and we kind of started out this way, but could you describe for us the perfect prospect for you and just walk us through who the perfect prospect is, the services you deliver, and then the outcome in which would be great for them? Just kind of a shortened version of the life cycle of a perfect client.
I think a perfect client for me is someone selling a product or a service that wants to do more than just sell that product or service. They want to build a personal brand, build a career, and they're someone who feels like they have a story to tell but doesn't know how to do it. What I would like to do is sit down with them and just have a conversation, understand who they are. I'm going to ask, a little bit more of the deeper questions. I have this process that I have called the 7 levels of why. And what that is basically asking you why you do what you do. And then I'm going to ask you 7 times to get to the deepest level of that why. Sometimes I think everyone has a why. Everyone has a why to why they do what they do, and a reason behind what they do. Sometimes you just need the right person to pull it out of you and help you understand it yourself so that you can use that to grow your business. And that's what I'd like to do with my, current or future clients, is just walk them through that process and really help them just build that personal brand.
Perfect. Cam, well done.
Hey, it's Will with the Podcast Crew team. Spotlight is a vidcast shot at the Podcast Crew studios in Minneapolis. We would love for you to be our guest. Email us at the email address on your screen below to get a copy of the upcoming schedule. It's free, it's easy, and it's a great way to try out a podcast or a vidcast with our pro team. We do an in-person, in-studio version if you're in the Twin Cities area, and also an online version if you're somewhere else. We'd love to have you, hear your story, and help you start your podcast journey. Thanks. Get in touch today.